Hi everyone, it's Shannon from Stampin. Shannon. I just wanted to come on today to talk to you about the Diversity Day digital stamps that Stampin' Up! Is giving out for free. So if you go to the Stampin' Up! Main page here, there we go. If you click on this United Through Creativity digital download, it will actually take you to the PDF of this document. So you can download here. And it actually gives you all of the different images and how you use digital stamps. And it kind of tells you how to do all of that in this first page here. And then it gives you a whole bunch of images. I think there's a total of 14 pages of images. And so basically I just printed mine on cardstock, on basic white cardstock. And I just printed the pages that I was going to use today. So I went ahead and printed two because I'm going to do a sample with you guys right now. So these are the Canadian stamps. So I thought it would be a super fun thing to just kind of case the card that they made. So going back to that is the card we're going to be making right here. So they just used the rectangle stitched dies, and then they colored in the leaf that came as part of the digital stamp, and then they cut out the How's It Going A with one of those dies as well. So super simple, super fast card, but I thought I would just walk everybody through it real quick. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is a piece of real red and your paper cutter. And we are going to just cut this exactly in half. So I'm not sure if their card opens horizontally or vertically, but I'm going to do a vertical card. I think that that will, in my mind, look really awesome. So it's 8.5 by 11. So we're going to cut this down to 4.25. And then it's already at 11, so we don't have to worry about that, but we're going to score it at 5.5. So we'll slide this guy in here. And I fold it one way, and then I fold it the other way too. So now this is our card base here. And we're going to take our mini cut and emboss, and we're going to go ahead and cut out both of the things that we need. So we may need our scissors for this too. So I don't waste paper. I'm going to go ahead and actually cut out this little strip at the bottom. And I'm using two different sizes of the squares. So the first, and the mini cut and emboss. I'm actually going to use the mini today. So we're going to layer it up with plate 1 and plate 2. And then we are going to make one of these sizes, this is actually the smallest rectangle in that set. So we're going to cut one. And we'll go back over that again. Usually these rectangles cut pretty well the first time through, but we'll go back through it one more time. Here we go. So there's our first. And then we need to have a second one. So we'll get this piece here. This is just another little scrap piece of white. This card does not take very many materials at all. So because of that, you can use a lot of scraps. It's a kind of a scrap buster project, I would say. And certainly, I mean, it's Canadian, so you can do red and white. But if you're wanting to do just a fall card with this image, you could also do, you know, reds, browns, oranges, yellows. So this is, despite it being geared towards Canadian cards, it does not necessarily have to be. And then our next thing that we're going to cut out is this How Is It Going A, and this is going to be our third little window that we're doing here to case that card. In case you're not familiar with what casing means, casing is copy and share everything. So when you look through the catalog and you see something you really like and you're like, oh, I'd like to make that, when you actually make it, that's casing it. So So we're going to set this here. We're going to try to get it even because it's already printed out. There we go. That looks good to me. And we'll set this down here, and then we're just going to cut it out. So this is literally no stamping. It is coloring, cutting, and then slapping it together. Not difficult whatsoever. And then with that, we are done with our cut and emboss. So we'll set this off to the side. And there we go. So we'll save that piece. There's a little bit of white space there left on that card. And put these two dies. So again, that was the smallest rectangle stitch die and then the second smallest. Okay, and let's bring our card base back. And I have already colored a leaf, but I'll go ahead and do it again. Just so you can see me color, and then I won't fussy cut it though for you, but that's exactly what I did. So these don't have dies, of course, since they're digital stamps. So you have to fussy cut it, or if you have, a scan and cut or a Cricut or something like that, you could also use that. So we are going to use light real red. Oops. Actually, we want dark real red first. So when I colored it, I just colored all of the veins of the leaf first. And you don't have to be so exact with this because you're going to cover it up with light and the other colors anyway. And then I colored the whole stem dark real red. And let's do this here. And then once we are finished, I'll go back through and kind of highlight some other areas. So I like to do dark, light, dark is how I usually do it. So that was dark real red, and then I'm just going to color the whole thing with light real red. And with these larger areas, and that wouldn't be so much of a problem because remember we're going to cut it out. But with these darker areas, larger areas, you want to make sure that you try to do kind of larger sweeping motions so that you don't get too much, when it dries, you don't get too many little lines in the middle as well. But I do use my brush tip for this. You can use your blender or your bullet tip, but it's going to take you probably just a little bit of extra time. And this is a very big area to color in here, but we'll go ahead and remember that they always dry a little bit lighter. So if it's looking kind of dark and you're not sure about it or it's covering up, just remember that that light real red is going to dry just a little bit lighter than it's showing up at first. So now that we've got our light real red on, I'm just going to go and touch in the areas that I missed with light real red and just touch those with dark real red. And then just kind of sweep over some of the edges as well. And over some of the veins again too. And anywhere that I notice there's kind of like a patchiness or anything, I'll just kind of add some additional color too. And this is, of course, all your own. So whatever you'd like it to look like, whatever color you'd like it to look like. You could do green leaves. You could do several. You could print a whole bunch of green leaves and just do green leaves. You could also do, like I said, like fall, which this would probably be considered a fall color, of course. But you could do fall with this. So despite it being geared towards one thing, it's not necessary to have it just be that one thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and color in the rest with that dark real red too. I think my light real red might be needing a replacement soon. I use that color a lot actually in a lot of my other projects and things. So that will be the first marker that I think I've had to replace in quite some time, because these do last a very, very, very long time. I do find that the brush tip does give you a little bit more of a splotchy look compared to the bullet tip. So if you do have a lot of that splotchiness, you can kind of just cover it up with your bullet tip. And I'll get this little edge here, and there we go. So now we have our super pretty red leaf finished, but I've already cut this one out, so we're going to go ahead and use this one. So this is going to be the easiest assembly ever. So in our picture, we have this one over here off to the side. So let's go ahead and adhere that. I'm just going to use Stampin' Seal. Go. And then we have two little pieces, and I'm just going to kind of stack them like this. And they actually used a longer, skinnier one and a shorter, fatter one. I think they used maybe two of this size, but I already cut two of this little size. So despite it being a case, it's going to be a little different, and that's okay. I would argue that I've never made a case, I've never cased a project and had it look exactly the same as the image. I either switch something up unintentionally or intentionally, and then we have it like so. So let me add this one here. Okay, and then we're going to add this other one just at a little bit of an angle too. And the only thing left after this will be attaching our leaf with some dimensionals and then putting in a white card, white insert into the middle of the card, the inside of the card, so that you can write a cute little message on it. So this is a really great little thinking of you card. Let's see, where did my dimensionals go? Let's go ahead and attach this one here. I'm just going to use maybe 3 dimensionals. Yeah, that should be good. All right, and then we're just going to put it just like this. And there we have it. And I think if I did this again, I think I would make this one just a little bit longer so that all of that red leaf was exposed. So we could make another little white piece here, another little white square, and go ahead and put that under here too. So we can finish that card out, and then we just put a white piece in the middle. And that's all there is to it. So again, when you see something you really like in a catalog or even in something like these digital downloads, just take a look at, you know, what they did and the different techniques that they used, and then you can copy them and make a very similar or the exact same card. Also, this is available to you for free. So again, you just go to the main Stampin' Up! Webpage. Inside of that first banner bar, you can click this and then you download, and it'll bring up all 14 pages of these adorable little stamps. And they have them in many different languages, many different countries. So super fun, super exciting way to celebrate Diversity Day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll give these digital stamps a try.